What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of the only news source that provides anything and everything anime manga related. And we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, a wise man once said two things. First of all, he said subscribe and hit the bell on ForneverWorld for all of that good stuff that you want in the anime and manga realm. You want updates on all of everything that you care about in anime and manga. Hit that subscribe button. You want to be a billionaire one day? You never know. Hitting that subscribe button might be the pathway to it. So hit it. And the second thing that wise man once said is lead with love. Lead with love, because opposed to coming in here and being like, yo, dog, it's apocalyptic. How about I start off with something very wholesome? Because right now, what's dominating everything is Spy Family, right? So what happens when Spy Family starts crossing over with everything that you love, like Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto? Like, what happens when we get that type of fiesta? We get wholesomeness and leading with love, lads. Because this fad is taking off in the anime community right now, with taking Anya from the Spy Family anime and putting her in different popular manga scenes. So the first one we got here is this manga panel goes hard as you know what. Anya forges special grade 1 sorcerer, and I'm not even gonna lie, this is hilarious. Long time no see. She was about to throw hands with Gojo himself. I don't know, dog. I think Gojo got his work cut out for him. Then the next one, this one, I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all know what to do. Look what I'm wearing right now, fam. You know the vibes. Anya, was I late? No, you were right on time, Anya. At last, Anya Forges come to the battlefield to stop Madara and the freaking war. Then we go to Chainsaw Man. It gets darker. You're late, Anya Forger. Yo. What madness? Who is thinking of putting this poor little girl in all of these situations that she shouldn't be in? The 4th grade Shinobi War, she shouldn't be in it. Chainsaw Man's finale, nah, I don't think she should be there. Then this one right here, there's not even no text. It's just Zoro and Anya Forger. How are they editing these things so well? Like, this legit looks real. What the hell? Oh my god, Anya Forger, Ultra Ego, let's go. Yo, this is not even that far-fetched, to be honest with you. Like, Dragon Ball Super would pull some shit like this at this point. Like, how did she? Yes, Vegeta, how did she? It's because everyone hates you, dog. Nah, realistically, the whole thing of Vegeta is so much more complex than what the audience gives it. Like, there's depth to it, fam. Kill your ego. Yo, dog, Arya calling Saitama Baldy, the Cape Baldy. Like, yo, and even his one punch. It takes more than one punch when it comes to Anya from Spy Family, okay, fam? Like, Saitama needs more than that. God damn, it gets darker. What the hell with the freaking astronaut meme shit, and then the Titans and Eren? So all along, it hasn't been Eren that was manipulating shit. It's been Anya Forger that's been manipulating the... I get it. And last but not least, you gotta end it off. We started with love, and appropriately, we end off with pain. Chibaku Tensei, fam. Like, this is easily one of my favorite meme things ever. It's just wholesome. It's adorable. It's cute. It reminds us of all of the really awesome stuff we love in Shonen Jump. I wouldn't be surprised if actually they're so happy about something like this taking off, because just think about it for a second. Nobody's really talking about battle anime right now, right? Everything is kind of dormant at the moment until fall season. This is kind of reminding people, you love Naruto, you love Jujutsu Kaisen, you love all of these series. Why isn't the Shanks meme there? She should have been Shanks at the war. You know what I'm saying? Marine forward. And I started with love because here we are. We're at a different point now. Like, that was love. This here, while there's love from me and from the fandom, ultimately, love seems to be fading in certain regards, at the very least for what Boruto is right now. Because Boruto's manga, yet again, looking at even deeper the sales right here, Boruto Volume 17, second week in Oricon top 50 weekly charts. And week 2, only 17,296 copies sold, making the total for weeks 1 and 2, 84,855 copies sold. It did not manage to hit the 100k mark. In comparison, Volume 14 and 15 managed to surpass the 100k mark in the second week of sales. And somebody pointed out what I said before, but that is factual, and I'm going to give you guys the understanding that you need to take the L's before you get to the W, and this can be applied to real life. Don't even take this right now. We're not even just talking about Boruto. You need to take the L to get get to the W. That is not just words, I'm giving you game. It comes in order, it's chronological for a reason. Unfortunately, you gotta get the L's so that you can understand the lessons so that you can win. And right now, that's what they're trying to do. And let me explain again and even further if you missed it. Essentially, they are now, in my opinion, betting on part 2 of Boruto to be what they need it to be. I think they're betting on right now, okay, screw all of this. We gotta make these guys that nobody cares about cared about. Like, that's the big issue, and that's why they're putting out a volume without any of Naruto, Sasuke, and them. So probably they could get a gauge as well of, okay, if we're not marketing it using the previous gen, what does this sell? If we're just strictly giving you Boruto, this is all Boruto. These are Boruto exclusive characters. Ada, Damon, and Code are the villains of Boruto, kind of like, you know, My Villain Academia. Oh my god. What if the fact that they know that realistically in the US, the My Villain Academia stuff, you know, the villains of My Hero, because again, if you don't know, Boruto was heavily inspired. Ukyo Kodachi, the original author of it, was heavily inspired by My Hero Academia. What if they looked at it from a marketing standpoint as, because My Hero is so popular everywhere, but especially, of course, in Japan, they want to keep that popularity going. And there's that issue that they constantly have to take Horikoshi from writing about the villains and whatnot. What if they were like, well, Boruto is really popular a lot of places. Don't sleep on it. You think it's funny? Honestly, Boruto is actually mad popular. Like, I go to Hot Topic and there's Boruto POPs everywhere. Like, Boruto is more popular than you think. Just because necessarily it ain't targeting our age demographic all the time, like with the anime exclusives and whatnot, it still is ringing off. And what if they were like, you know what? We can actually make that a thing, because right now Boruto is at a downtime. Like, yes, it's popular, but it's at a downtime. What if we can make that My Villain Academia thing for Boruto, and people rock with it with Boruto, and we don't gotta worry necessarily about Japan, because the Naruto franchise is global, and we can make mad money off making My Villain Academia inside of Boruto. Essentially, basically trying to grab that fandom that really likes the villains in the West and just place it to the Boruto side of things and take it from My Hero, because their ideas and probably where they're going with My Hero is not necessarily to cater to, unfortunately, what we want. And again, this is all connected, because I gotta keep stressing that Ukyo Kodachi, the person that set up Code and all of these characters, was heavily inspired by My Hero Academia. That's what he was going for when he was creating Boruto, all the way up to the Baryon mode stuff. Because then that's when they gave him the boot and said, yeah, Kishimoto is supposedly possibly coming back, but we're never going to credit him as writing the chapters, just as the original creator. But again, I say all that to say that while it is somewhat of a bad week for Boruto, I still got to keep on stressing that, yeah, it's bad right now. It's going to catch a W later. When Boruto Shippuden comes, everything changes. Over here, y'all already know. Yeah, you watching right now, you clicked on this because you're at the very least interested somewhat of hearing what's happening in the world of Boruto, right? When Boruto time skip happens and things get real and people are dropping the big ones that we actually care about, we're going to see where things are, how people feel, and that's where we're going to get a bigger introspective look at what Boruto really is capable of. They're setting it up now. They're planting the seeds. Give it time. When it blossoms, you ain't gonna be able to escape Boruto. And we're gonna be laughing at, wow, people really hated Boruto Part 1, but Boruto Part 2 is loved. And not everybody hated Boruto Part 1, let's be clear, because also 2021's Boruto anime, that shit slapped. And since we're talking about sales here, why not? Let's talk about something that a lot of you people want to know, right? Y'all want to know what's popping in the West. You know what's popping in, like, for example, the United States. What manga are doing what? What's top over there? What's happening? Because we always get to look at Japan, and don't worry, we will in this episode as well, because there's some juicy stuff in that segment. But ultimately, we never really look at the West like that. So whenever I get an opportunity, I do so. Shout outs to at Yellowstone over on Twitter. They showed at the very least 2 manga in the top selling graphic novel list and whatnot, and it says here, top manga sold in the US from May 8th to May 14th. Death Note short stories, which, by the way, I just recently picked that one up. In case you don't know, I did it on my other channel, Forever the F I Want. Go check it out. We got consistent content over there. Pickups, videos, anime, and manga merchandise. You won't be disappointed, I promise. But, yeah, the short stories is finally out. The one that had, you know, Donald Trump in there and right before the pandemic and all of that jazz. Like, it was insane, and it came out, and apparently it sold very well in its first week. And so does My Dress Up Darling Volume 5, which I believe it's kind of been rocking one of these anime seasons. Was it the previous one or the current one? A lot of people have been talking about it, which becomes the series' first volume to rank in PW with help from the anime. And coming in at number 1, which again, you're probably going to be looking at, oh my god, that might be at the bottom top 50 of Japan, but it's still very well for the US considering the series has been over forever. Death Note short stories, week 1 did 16.1K. Again, this is an old IP. This is not a Demon Slayer book. This is not a, My Hero book. This is not none of that stuff. And it sold 16.1K to come in number 1. And then My Dress Up Darling at number 2 with 9,024 copies. But 16.1, that's pretty good, and at the end of the day, it just yet again shows that Death Note is still massively popular. If they ever decided to really, and not just really focus on the West, imagine they just wanted to do Shonen Jump West. Imagine they did like a Western branch of Shonen Jump, right? But like really westernized, not just, hey, we're putting our stuff that we're making in Japan over there. Like, hey, we're making manga that is specifically targeted towards a Western demographic. If they made a new Death Note with the original creators, because they clearly showed they could still do it, they still got it for Death Note, that would be huge. That would be insane. If they made a follow-up to this, and let's just say they do what everybody wants to see, let's keep it real, you want Light as the new Ryuk, you want that, we know that, you don't lie, stop lying. It just shows again, Death Note is still a king, 16.1. Again, you're probably thinking that's low. You're comparing it to Japan, where Japan is the home country. It's always going to sell more copies. So shout outs to Death Note. And it also gives an introspective look at something kind of embarrassing. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt a little bit like, damn, dog, why don't people buy certain manga like they do in Japan over here in the West? One Piece in Japan is a god. It always will be a god. Even if it slipped a bit, it's been out for 100 bajillion years, it still sells crazy. But then I was looking at, because I kind of missed it, the previous week's sales of the US, the top manga. There was only one volume that ranked of manga from May 1st through the 7th. It was One Piece volume 99, damn near 100, you know what I'm saying? So that's also to take into account. One Piece, while it did debut number 1, it must have been a soft week because it did less than My Dress Up Darling. My Dress Up Darling volume 5 did 9,000. One Piece 99 did 8.7. Let's put some things into perspective. That's a volume 5 doing more. This is a volume 99. Very different commitments. People buying volume 99, if they're actually collecting it, they have to have purchased 98 other manga. My Dress Up Darling, I could go right now and go buy those 5 volumes at any given time that I want. Very big difference. So I don't want to say that it's embarrassing in that aspect, but this was what I was like, what? Bonus, the Demon Slayer official coloring book sold 35,638 copies in its first 5 weeks. A coloring book is doing those numbers. One Piece, realistically, in 5 weeks is not going to do that. So, essentially, a Demon Slayer coloring book can do better than One Piece. Now, let's take the embarrassing aspect out of, oh my god, One Piece outsold by coloring book, and let's really look at what it is. Coloring books, a children's coloring book can go at any given time. If I'm walking with my daughter, she could see a coloring book and say, Daddy, that's anime, and I could buy it for her, and boom, we just sold a coloring book, and she don't even need to be a fan of Demon Slayer. Very different thing. So, while it does feel, when you first hear about it, One Piece outsold by a coloring book, and My Dress Up Darling, like, it's not going to do what My Dress Up Darling did in 5 weeks. There's just no way. If it continues to decrease, like, week 1 does 8.7, week 2 might do 3.3, yada yada, like, it's not going to do that. But let's put things into perspective that this is a volume 99 doing that. So at the very least, you could argue that potentially damn near 9,000 people have committed to buying 100 volumes of One Piece. And if you do the math, that's a lot of money and that's a lot of interest, and it's still a win. It's just that we're in a different era of people on mass levels aren't trying to invest in 99 volumes. They want 9 volumes of a completed story. They want not even 9, they want 5 volumes of a completed story, and they want to go on to the next thing. Or it might be like 10 volumes, I don't freaking know, but you get what I'm saying. They want quick and short and awesome, and One Piece is long and godlike. Pause. And the reason I say pause is you should be subscribing, dog. Like, why you playing with me for that? Please subscribe. Hit that bell, lad. Okay, but now we gotta really show it. We gotta show, like, okay, if I'm gonna show you guys that these results are a little on the Western side of things, well, let's jump back to the East and see the top 50 best-selling manga of the week, courtesy of Jose_Ken. And off the rip, places 50 through 41. A lot of kind of a little bit low tier or whatnot, but it is interesting, and I'm trying to look at, okay, so if Death Note came out in Japan, because again, I'm comparing this to the Western thing, everything here from places 50 through 41 sold 14,000 copies or less, meaning that, okay, if the Death Note volume that sold 16,000 from the last segment did more than this, so we'll get an idea of, again, comparing Eastern and Western sales and whatnot. But at 44, we got Detective Conan's volume 101, another 12,000, bringing it at 416. It probably won't hit 500,000, 500,000 before it leaves. It'll probably hit 500,000 after, but that's still a massive win. 500,000 copies, 101, like that's a huge difference. Then places 40 through 31, we got a little bit more of a look, but also I'm still noticing that pretty much that Death Note volume, if we're comparing it to Japanese sales, the #1 selling manga in the West would be, for this week in Japan, about place 36 in their top 50 best-selling thing. That's the difference between the West. Our sales would land us at number 36 on their sales, which is understandable because, again, like, this is the homeland. But I just had to give you guys that comparison so you know where we're at with the comparing the U.S.'s sales to Japan. Granted, other stuff does sell more sometimes, so there's that aspect as well. But looking here, we got Bakido Volume 13 with 15,000, number 39. Spy Family, Eyes Only Official Fan Book. Yo, they'll throw anything. Once something pops, they're like, yo, dog, we got these stickers that we just farted out. Like, yo, y'all want these shits? $100 a pop. Let's go. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Then at number 35, Boruto Volume 17. Yeah. Yikes, man. 2 full weeks. 14 days. Not a 3-day. Full 14 days, man. Just not great, but I understand the end goal, and I understand that they're planning on, once we're at, let's just say, volume 41, and it's Boruto Shippuden, they're betting on that's going to do a lot more than this because they're going to revamp it. I'm calling it. Then we got Marshall Volume 11, 17,085 in total in 2 weeks. That is still great for Marshall. It's just, I've noticed that a lot of manga, the manga industry has seen a hit, and I don't know if it's because the pandemic is starting to go out or whatnot, but I remember very vividly that Marshall earlier on, let's just say even 1 year ago, was doing about 100K week 1. So the fact that this is taking 2 weeks to do 85, it's kind of on par with what's Boruto. Again, it might not necessarily be that Boruto is completely taking this L, like it is a drop for Boruto, but it might be that a lot of these series in unison, manga in general, are selling a little bit less a year later now that everybody's not stuck at home just reading all the time. They're going outside. One Piece Volume 102, 17,000, 1.5. My God, from 8,900 in the US to 1.5. Jeez. Even, you know, first week it was over 1 million first week. But it is interesting to note that that volume came out literally April 4th, and we're right now, as of the recording of this video, May 23rd. And yeah, from selling, I believe it was like a little over 1 million week 1, it has only sold 600,000 and like going on 2 months almost with sales. So that is interesting to note. Then let's jump over to places 30 through 21. Love to see it. Dawn to Dawn Volume 5 at place 30, 19,000 this week, bringing its total to 102,000. Yet again, that's on the list. And I know, I say this with everything, but I promise I really want to get back into Dawn to Dawn. That was such a freaking trippy ride, and that would be a great video. I'm sure you guys would love to hear my thoughts on the recent stuff. So yeah, champion that. Maybe make the likes on a Dawn to Dawn comment really catch my interest. I don't know. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 102, 28,000, bringing it to 1.585. Is Jujutsu Kaisen the highest selling manga right now in Shonen Jump? Like, if you think about it right now, it is technically the one that is currently selling the most. Obviously, One Piece has sold the most, but Jujutsu Kaisen is technically the highest selling manga that can currently generate the highest sales. That's Jujutsu Kaisen. That's not a fiction. That's not an opinion. That is fact. Then Tokyo Revengers Volume 27, 28,000, bringing its total to 814,000. Closing in on a milli. I think getting to a mil before we leave is still possible, but yeah, Tokyo Revengers, I don't know, I'm still not a fan of that cover, I'm sorry. Then the restoration arc of Rurouni Kenshin, the Hokkaido arc, another 30,000. I'm still shocked, and congrats to Kenshin fans. I know Kenshin fans, especially my dude, shout out to Naruto Explained, my dude, like, yo, Kenshin fans are eating right now. 150,000 total in 14 days for a manga. Like, again, this is a restoration, but this is from an old IP. I wish that there was one magazine, right? Just think about it. Why don't they do this? I guess they like trying to spread and make other shit, whatever, but I would love if in the same magazine that Boruto comes out and Dragon Ball Super, we would have Boruto, Dragon Ball Super, these Rurouni Kenshin chapters. They might be, actually. Maybe I'm wrong on this and I'm not even realizing that it's in there, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think Kenshin is in V-Jump, but maybe I'm off on that. But if they had all of those things, like, you know, just the classic series, whenever Bleach comes with, you know, whatever they're gonna do next after the fact, if they're gonna decide, like, Kubo's gonna write more Bleach or whatever, like, put all of that in one magazine. That would be a magazine people would spend a lot of money on. They would like more of that. that shit. Especially you got classics like the Naruto verse, you got the Dragon Ball verse, you got all of this stuff in one magazine, and then when One Piece inevitably ends and has 2-piece or half-piece or whatever they decide to do, putting all of that in one magazine, everybody would be lifetime fans of the magazine. That would be something that I could see our generation, and let me know if you agree with this one. Do you think that that would be something that would make our generation of, you know, we love the Narutos, the Dragon Balls, all of this stuff, would that make us lifetime fans of that magazine if they kept on giving us, of course, quality, but nevertheless consistent material? Do you think that that would be something that you would stay on, or you still would eventually fall off or something like that? I don't see how. If you're giving me all of the series that I absolutely know and love, and you're putting it in a monthly magazine, right? Because realistically, it's monthly. That's 12 times a year that I have to just read stuff that I really, really love. I think I would be a lifetime fan. And I know I trailed off, so we're going to jump straight into 20 through 11. And a whole bunch of Spy Family volumes are up in there. Natsume Yujin Cho, which a lot of people are like, yo, Fornev, you don't know about that. I know I don't know about that. What is that? Spy Family, again, volume 3, 1, 2, 5, all 40, 38, 39, 40. Like, wow. A lot of sales. And then we got the Tensai Shitara. Is that the slime series? Or maybe I'm off on that. I'm not sure. Either way, then we got Top 10, which Spy Family is like the only thing that is really making noise this season right now. Like Tomodachi Game, as much as I was talking about that a few weeks ago or whatnot, nobody's really talking about it like that. It's only Spy Family. It's like that's the only anime that exists right now. We got places 10, 9, 8, 6, 2. Like, Jesus Christ, Spy Family. The takeover is beyond just real. It's here. One Punch Man Volume 25, 55,269. Always a joy to see One Punch Man still doing its thing. Spy Family Volume 9. This is a weak for manga sales, in my opinion. Nothing even broke 85K. 84,000 sales at number 1, My Hero Academia Volume 34 with Star and Stripe. Shout out to Star and Stripe. Love that girl. Oh my god, she's amazing. But 84,000 for number 1, bringing it to 532, over 500,000. And Spy Family at 1.1, which is kind of crazy. Spy Family selling more than My Hero, but here we are. And mind you, Spy Family has had longer, but still realistically, that My Hero volume will take forever to hit 1.1 million, while Spy Family has already hit it. That's the difference of mainstream, family mainstream, and mainstream battle series. Thinking about it now, with this type of success, the fact that Spy Family can sell that and My Hero be struggling and shit like that, they might look in the future to make more stuff like Spy Family. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. Like, Spy Family is dope because it's kind of like its own little thing. There's not that many that are especially mainstream and stuff like that. If you start making a bunch of them, who cares? Like, it's a great little show, but I don't want 5 of those great little shows, because then it just becomes like, oh, another Spy Family. But yeah, people, those were the top 50 best-selling manga of the week. Very interesting and a little bit juicy here that there's a lot of fall-offs. But again, I gotta keep stressing it. It's not that I'm even trying to be hopeful. I'm just being realistic. A lot of these series that you think are falling off right now, wait till that turnaround. Ain't gonna matter what sides you on the tables when the tables turn, dog. Then if you've been following FORNEVERNEWS for a while, you remember that I told you guys that Shueisha, the publishing company that has Shonen Jump and all of that jazz, you know, they got Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, all of that good stuff. They were creating their own Shueisha Games installment, where basically they were going to create originals. There was going to be original video games that were going to be coming out. A lot of people were confused because that announcement came out around the time the April Fool's jokes was coming, so a lot of people didn't know what was real and what was fiction, including myself. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit like confused with, okay, so what's this and what's this? But we actually have a big announcement on what's happening with the future of that Shueisha Games thing, because again, this could be an experiment, which it looks like it's an experiment for them. Obviously, they have a lot of ties and whatnot with companies like Namco Bandai, but this looks like this is an experiment to get some quick change. I'm not even gonna lie, it doesn't sound like we're going to be getting any heavy hitters, at the very least, coming soon. Shueisha Games unveils trailers for 3 upcoming indie games. Shueisha Games, Shueisha's game publishing affiliate company, revealed trailers on Sunday for the Captain Velvet, Meteor, the Jump Plus Dimensions, Hateno no To, the Tower of Children, and Solver's indie games. Shueisha Games plans to publish, or is currently publishing, all 3 indie games. Momo P Game Studios' Captain Velvet, Meteor, the Jump Plus Dimensions will release for the Switch this summer with support for Japanese, English, and French. And Shueisha describes the game as Damien is an extremely creative and imaginative teenager born in a binational French-Japanese family. Oh my god, they're literally just targeting what's happening right now. Like, I know there's a lot of biracial French-Japanese people over there in Japan. I also know that there's a big market of manga lovers in France. I want to say France, if I'm not mistaken, is Japan is the number 1, and then I think France is number 2 for manga. So this is clearly very, very calculated. Damien's personal world shatters when his parents tell him that they decided to leave France to go live in Japan, a country he mostly knows about from all the manga he reads. Yeah, this is to get the French fans to get interested in this. Damien will have to call upon his superhero persona, Captain Velvet Meteor, to cope with the anxiety of being in a completely new place. He will face his fears and grow up through the power of his imagination by calling upon his favorite Jump Plus characters to help him on his quest to escape a mysterious planet and an unknown monster army. I ain't gonna lie, the premise does sound interesting. Kind of sounds relatable. I've been through some, you know, being transported from you live one place and then ripped away from another, and your comics is all you have. Then Tasto Alpha's Hatena no To, the Tower of Children, will release this fall as an as yet unspecified platform with support for Japanese and English. Shueisha Games describes it as, beyond the world's end there lies a tower. In that tower there live people, all of them children. Atop the tower, top arm in arm, they survive together. I believe in the rumors. I believe that at the bottom of the tower a paradise waits. Geno Labo released Solvers on iOS and Android platforms on January 8th, and the above trailer reveals the game's upcoming PC and console release, so they're putting those. So pretty much they're trying to create original IPs that aren't tied to anime or manga. They're using their anime and manga, their popular titles, to push these, but they're trying to go in a different direction with these and see if they could hit, and it's clearly targeted towards people that love manga, people that love Jump. Like, France is the second biggest one, so you're including the second biggest market with the first biggest market that he moved from France to Japan. Like, shout outs to that marketing team. Y'all did y'all thing. And right about now is a good time to jump into the weekly Shonen Magazine author comments, courtesy of Jos_Ke, as well as weekly Shonen Magazine _manga. So for starters, let's start off with Negi Haruba from Ranger Reject. Let's try on swimsuits at the store sooner rather than later. Yeah, we're just about at that particular point, and I'm not gonna lie, lads, I'm working on it, lads. We're gonna get into that swimwear, hey. Then we got Muneyuki Kaneshiro, author of Blue Lock. Fujiko Afujio's Laughing Salesman is my lifeblood. I'd like to offer many thanks to him for creating this masterpiece. I feel like I read this comment before, but I don't think I did. But either way, I don't know if I've said it before, but I really enjoyed The Laughing Salesman. In fact, I think I did a first impression of The Laughing Salesman at some given point. Chris, right here, lad, right here, put it. Then we got Nakaba Suzuki, author of Four Nights of the Apocalypse. I did a major overhaul to my storage room over Golden Week and cleaned it out. Now I can see the floor. And in case you don't know, it wasn't Golden Week, or maybe it was, I guess, technically, right? So I kind of celebrated it all the way over here in the West. But yeah, I cleaned as well, and I changed shit up. So I understand, Nakaba Suzuki. That's what you got to do sometimes. A little bit of a fresh start, a little bit of a change. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, yo, dog, even if I'm not necessarily sold on the new look at this particular point, you'll get used to it. And at the end of the day, it's for the best, lad. You go and change it up. Change is good. Don't be afraid of change. Sometimes you need it. George Morikawa, author of Hajime no Ippo. I saw a ton of pandas in Ki no Kuni. This dude, half the time I never know anything he's saying, but he saw a ton of pandas somewhere, and shout outs to that because pandas are cool. I've always thought pandas are just like, yo, dog, they just want to eat bamboo and relax. They lazy. They like, yo, leave them alone. Although don't fuck with them neither, because they won't tear your ass up. Then we got Ken Wakui, author of Tokyo Revengers, former gangster. I was working during Golden Week. Since I had to reschedule my downtime, I went on a short trip instead. Well, I'm glad that he got to get out and whatnot, and it's just so bizarre that the way the Tokyo Revengers thing just happened. I'm not even gonna lie, and I know this is probably wrong place, wrong time, but I just gotta say, I am so shocked that the backlash that Tokyo Revengers has gotten already for I don't know how many months now, of how it was from people saying it's one of the greatest things in the world to it is constantly getting dunked on and said as if it's fairy tale and stuff. And I feel like that was somewhere along the way, again, I gotta keep stressing, it was for financial reasons why I think Tokyo Revengers got extended, but also possibly the way they're trying to appeal and market it moving forward is possibly like, yo, we already got all the kids that are gonna like this, they like it, let's find other people that may not know about us and like it, and that's what's pissing off a lot of the fandom. So while they're trying to get a expansive mainstream feel with it, ultimately they're knocking people off that really love Tokyo Revengers because they're like, yo, dog, what happened? Like, I just keep hearing so many bad things about Tokyo Revengers, and it's so heartbreaking, man, so heartbreaking. I'm gonna catch up eventually, but I'm not in no rush right now. Hearing that, I'm not in a rush. And I know that the anime's next season 2, 3, I don't know how many, a lot of the anime seasons are gonna be just straight fire until we get to this point, but yeah. Hiro Mashima, author of Eden Zero, Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. I saw Doctor Strange. So many unbelievable things happened, and a lot of parts came off like a horror movie. I gotta go watch that movie. A lot of people keep on saying about Doctor Strange, for better or worse. I want to make my own opinion on it. Let me know what you think. Was Doctor Strange a good film? Is Hiro Mashima bugging out? Is he on that? Like, yo, is it just like, yo, that fairy tale talk coming out right now? Like, there was some friendship stuff happening in Doctor Strange. Like, let me know. And by no means am I making fun of Doctor Strange. I haven't seen it. I'm asking you, like, is Hiro Mashima on that juice again? Then we got Kei Urana, the latest to hit Weekly Shonen magazine from Gachi Akuta. One of my assistants is great at snarking, but they were overwhelmed with the idiocy and thus gave up trying to deal with us. Thanks for everything. That's hilarious. It sounds like there was some beef in his office. I'm not gonna lie. I had to stay quiet and read this for a minute again. One of my assistants is great at snarking, like, but they were overwhelmed with the idiocy and thus gave up trying to deal with us. Probably was like, yo, dog, y'all a bunch of fools. I'm out of here. Thanks for everything. It sounds like there was a little bit of beef in Gachi Akuta and Kei Urana's little sphere there. And also shout outs to Gachi Akuta, because an announcement came out that Gachi Akuta is getting reprints. That should be a good sign, but you never know. But either way, I like what I read so far, and I think that this could be something. So shout outs to that. Yo, Kei Urana already having beef, dog. You just got serialized. Relax, bro. You ain't a rapper. Shout outs to hip hop. Then lastly, we got Yoshitoki Oima, author of To Your Eternity. I finally bought and replaced the aloofish curtains I've had for 2 years. It's about time, Fornev. You gotta change these curtains. Y'all can't even see my curtains right now. These are big, nasty. They gotta get changed. Then, if you're a fan of Fairy Tail or Hiro Mashima, since we brought him up recently, there was a couple of big things that's happening recently with him. For starters, Fairy Tail Original Game Contest. And this one right here, I'm not gonna lie, just shows how much of a really dope person Hiro Mashima is. I'm always gonna root for Hiro Mashima. I'm always gonna say, like, yo, you can hate on Hiro, you could talk crap about Hiro. He's a good person. He's shown time and time again he's a hustler. He's giving. This one right here, so basically, grand prize work announcement. The grand prize work was announced at the following URL. In the unprecedented situation that 3 works were selected, because pretty much Hiro Mashima created a contest. He was going to pick out 1 winner. He ended up picking 3 because he was just so impressed, and the grand prize that was planned for 1 work was increased. The amount basically is being increased by Hiro Mashima, and from what I was told, I'm not 100% sure because I can't translate everything, but from what I was told, Hiro Mashima put up like millions of, I don't know if it was dollars or yen, so it might not be the biggest thing in the world, but the fact that there was prize for 1, I forget if it was thousands of dollars, some shit like that, and he decided, oh, no, I'm putting up my own money for this because I was so impressed. Hiro Mashima cares about his fans, and that's somebody that I'm going to respect. So he's a hard worker, he's a hustler, he never quits, never surrenders. The anime gets axed, he starts turning out 3 or 4 chapters so that there's enough material for it to come back as soon as possible. Shout outs to Hiro Mashima. Stop shitting on him. He did make mistakes. Fairy Tail wasn't perfect. There was times where I wanted to rip my hair out. We're in a different era. Everything I'm hearing about Eden Zero is fire. He's a good person. Let's leave that Hiro Mashima slander in the last generation, okay? It's over with. Fairy Tail won't hurt you no more, but Hiro Mashima can save you and show you how to hustle and how to get to it. And since we're talking about Hiro Mashima and you want a little bit more inspiration of just how awesome this dude is and how hard of a worker he is, Gate of Nightmares. You remember it was originally like some mobile JRPG that they hired Hiro Mashima to do the character designs. Well, they did a manga, you remember? And the manga adaptation, volume 1, this is the first look from the creator of Fairy Tail, Hiro Mashima, Square Enix, and Matsuoka Yoshinori. First volume will be out June 9th, 2022. So this dude took and flipped a freaking mobile game into a manga as well. I guarantee it was either Mashima or his team that was like, oh yeah, want us to do designs for the characters? We could do a manga if you want. Like, we can do it. It's totally fine. And they were probably like, oh yeah, no doubt. And then look at this, like, the art looks dope. Again, like, the main character looks like the main dude from Rave, and then that kind of looks like a more innocent looking Erza, and then that's Igneel, but like a baby Igneel, and then that would be Mavis back there. So it's clearly Fairy Tail inspired, but I don't care, dog. I'm gonna keep on. I gotta give Hiro Mashima his flowers right now. Right now, I'm giving him his flowers. Like, yo, this is ForneverNews, and I'm Fornev, so we're gonna do it. Fairy Tail, there are moments in there that are great. There are iconic moments in Fairy Tail. I don't care if you're laughing right now. Fairy Tail, for example, that whole thing where Loxus tried to take everyone out and was trying to take control of the guild, and he ultimately failed. And remember that moment where he's leaving sad, defeated, destroyed, but his grandfather loved him so much that he threw up the hand sign that we are always family no matter what. I'm getting goosebumps even talking about that moment. That shit right there, you know that was a great moment. Yes, there was problems all around it, but you cannot deny that Fairy Tail has some dope stuff and that Hiro Mashima tries. Shout outs to Hiro Mashima. Salute. I don't even salute, but I had to do it. Then let's jump into something regarding my favorite mangaka right now. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Post Big 3, Tatsuki Fujimoto, favorite mangaka, bar none. Everything that he releases, I either cry, laugh, or think is one of the greatest things in the world. You Are a Goat, Fire Punch, Look Back, Goodbye Eddie, Chainsaw Man, You Can't Stop This Man, and Goodbye Eddie by Tatsuki Fujimoto, which let me know if you guys really let me know. I don't know how, maybe get this video to 5,000 likes. I doubt that's gonna happen, but if we can get this video to 5,000 likes, I will 100% do a Tatsuki Fujimoto's Goodbye Eddie video, straight up and down. You might even see me bawling, crying, talking about it. I'll just be honest with you, because it was God tier. Again, 5,000. If not, it is what it is, lads. But Shihei Lin also commented on Chainsaw Man Part 2, which that's where it's like, okay, update again. It's update time. When are we getting it? Shihei Lin, which by the way, he's the editor for Chainsaw Man for Tatsuki Fujimoto. He commented saying that Tatsuki Fujimoto is currently in production with Chainsaw Man Part 2 and asked readers to wait a little bit longer. Jesus Christ. And I'm not gonna lie, for me personally, it fits so good in my life right now because assuming that Chainsaw Man is going to pick up from where it left off, I don't want to get into spoilers, but you know pretty much the two characters that walked away and had that really adorable little bond or whatnot. If they're gonna come back, this, oh my god, I just thought of something. If it's going to Jump Plus, right? Holy shit. Oh wow. If Chainsaw Man is going to Jump Plus, and we have Spy Family that is in Jump Plus, and Spy Family is a wholesome thing about a father and his daughter and the wife that they got, yada yada, and we're going Chainsaw Man, that Chainsaw Man 2, if it takes up from where the last one left off, should have a similar situation, just way more crude, way less sophisticated. We could have the opposite side of the spectrum of Spy Family with Chainsaw Man Part 2 in terms of what if the parents or the people taking care of the kid aren't all that sophisticated, aren't the most intelligent, aren't the best in the world at what they do. What happens there? I want to see that if that's the route they're going to go with Chainsaw Man Part 2. And either way, I think that that's a large possibility considering we just spoke about how successful Spy Family is. What if you take the crude insanity of Chainsaw Man Part 2 and add a broken family element that is somewhat almost, I guess, the opposite side of Spy Family? I think that that just goes boom and becomes the biggest thing in the world and nobody will ever shut up about this. Or it could fall flat because we've seen when you reinvent it, Tokyo Ghoul Reed, there was parts where people were like, oh my god, Tokyo Ghoul, the original is so much better, it's too complex, I don't like it. So we gotta wait and see, but that sounds fire. And again, it could just be me projecting because, you know, I'm a father and seeing, you know, Spy Family, the perfect father, and then seeing Chainsaw Man, somebody that probably would be a horrible father, to see the different sides of the spectrum because I know I'm a damn good father. But yeah, it looks like we're going into that age where they understand that anime and manga fans are growing up. A lot of us are having kids and like, well, we know you still love our medium. How about we give you stuff that you can enjoy with your family? I like it. And since I'm talking about epic mangaka that I believe in, another one I gotta tell you guys about. So y'all remember the author of Red Hood, Yuki Kawaguchi. Red Hood was awesome. The ending was so meta because it was so sad how it ended. Y'all know Red Hood should have been something. I don't know what Jump was thinking, what they were on, but ultimately, you know, Kawaguchi got canceled. But I've said it before and I say it again, I think Yuki Kawaguchi is going to easily be a pillar in Jump in the next generation. My Hero goes, Black Clover goes, you put Yuki Kawaguchi with another Red Hood-esque series. This time around, the competition won't take away the readership and mess with it. That would be huge. And the reason I'm saying all that is because there was a one-shot that was coming from him. Well, a short one-shot is posted on Weekly Shonen Jump, which will be released next week. Weekly Shonen Jump 26 will be released May 30th, and in it, his one shot will be there. And again, we see the character looks like a little schoolgirl, so I'm not sure how this is gonna work, although it's kind of reminiscent of some of the, you know, stuff that you saw in Red Hood. Obviously, it's his character designs and whatnot. And I want to see this thing, whatever it is. I want to read it. I hope it's good, and I hope it gets serialized because I'm gonna keep on saying it. I think Yuki Kawaguchi is going to be, not that I think, I know, if he can tap into what he did with Red Hood and take it a step further and really not lose his way this time around, or get a better editor, because I think it's that editor. Yo, please, whoever the fuck is the editor that did Samurai 8 and Red Hood, stop trying to make shit fast and ruining everything. You need details. The devil's in the details, and ultimately you gotta kick his ass. Stop with the bullshit of speeding through and running these manga ragged. I get you want to get a hit and doing it as fast and heavy as you can, as quick as you can. It's one of the recipes. It clearly didn't work with Samurai, even though Samurai was actually the opposite. He just kind of sucked at that point. And then Red Hood, it was like, yo, we're blitzing through shit and doing random things. Like, that editor is a problem, and I think he's doing Black Clover now too. Oh my god. Which would also explain Black Clover's yeah, up until the last chapter that I feel like Tabata said, yo, get the fuck out of my office, dog. Get out of my office. I'm writing this shit now. Me, Big Tabata. Either way, as I told Yuki Kawaguchi over on Twitter, ganbatte kudasai. You will get serialized again, bro. I believe in you. And just real quickly, because I know India rocks with me, and I think that this is a really dope piece of news for you guys. India, this one's for you because I love you guys. Dragon Ball Super and Digimon are coming to Cartoon Network India summer 2022. Yo, India's about to get a lot more anime, baby. Cartoon Network India is about to go into high gears as they have planned a big list of shows for March 30th under the new brand. Oh, so this already happened. This was 2 months ago. Oh, y'all eating already. Okay, I'm late to the news, but still, here it is. They're basically bringing Dragon Ball Super, Digimon over there on Cartoon Network. They posted a video featuring Dragon Ball Super and Digimon and other popular shows airing throughout the summer 2022. And yeah, look, okay, so the list is they're bringing Super, Digimon, Lampoot, I'm not sure what's that, Powerpuff Girls. Okay, it looks like they're putting the 2 big anime. They probably have a deal with Toei Animation for Dragon Ball and Digimon. And they were like, oh, we probably already got all the licenses for all this other shit. Let's slap it under there and make it like a cartoon hour. And Dragon Ball Super will be the anchor to bring people to care about the other licenses we already have. That's what I'm guessing they're doing. But yo, shout outs that y'all got something going on over there. Keep it moving, keep supporting it if you can, if that's what you choose to do. I'm not gonna, you know, push you or whatever, but yeah, this is really, really big for India. Shout outs to you guys. It says Cartoon Network India has seen a huge dip in their viewership during 2021 and is still on the same path. Their brand new Redraw Your World will introduce viewers with some old and some highly anticipated shows. Essentially, it sounds like Cartoon Network India is hoping for Dragon Ball to save the day. And that's kind of crazy that I've seen that a lot, you know? I feel like that is a common theme with damn near this whole industry. It always feels like, going back to even when I started doing YouTube, I remember I used to watch like voice actors and them talking at conventions like in 2010 before I really started taking off with this stuff, right? And I remember one of the things I used to hear a lot of these voice actors saying that the anime industry is waiting on the next Dragon Ball Z. They're waiting on the next Dragon Ball Z that's going to take them there. And it always feels like every time when it comes to the animated world, one of these companies need to get shit off the ground, they always run back to Daddy. They always run back to Son Goku to get shit popping again. It's interesting, but hey, if it works, dope. And again, shout outs to you guys. I did this one for y'all because I love y'all. Y'all always support me, and I gotta do something. Go support that Cartoon Network so y'all get more merch over there. Trust me, it's a trickle-down effect. You support that, tell your grandmother or something if she got cable, yo, put that on at that time for me, dog. Do that. And you'll get more merch and be able to buy more shit and just see more anime around you. It's a fun experience. Yeah, people, that's all I have for this one. Curious what you guys think. Most important story, favorite story, anything I didn't cover that you wanted me to cover, and you're like, yo, Fornev, I'm gonna subscribe and hit that bell so I know this, alright? Like, do that, and yeah, let me know. That's all I have for this one. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and you guys just watched another episode of ForneverNews. Have an awesome day. You